You're listening to the Marshall Ramsey Show. Welcome back. Thank you for listening this afternoon. We have in studio right now a very nice person. Been talking to you for about 5 minutes now. I feel like we're kin. We are kin. You know, it's one of these great Mississippi moments that usually you can make a connection by one person because there's 2 degrees of separation in the state. We have a mutual friend, a very good friend. But in studio right now, running for treasurer, Republican candidate for treasurer, we have Lynn Fitch. She was selected by Haley Barbour in 2009 to be the executive director for the Mississippi State Personnel Board. That's a pretty big-time job in itself right there. You're responsible for directing more than 130 state agencies and overseeing 32,000 employees. During that tenure, you've been able to effective use of taxpayer dollars and so forth. That's what you say, and I believe you on that. You hold a Bachelor's of Business Administration and a doctorate from the University of Mississippi. Wow. Okay, I'm completely above me in education. So, but anyway, welcome to the Marshall Ramsey Show. You said you've had a busy day today.
Marshall, thank you. I'm
Sure.
delighted to be here with you today.
I'm working on your caricature right now, so I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no, that's fine. I know it's
Okay.
going to be good.
Yeah, I'll make sure I do the headphones.
Especially my hair.
Yeah.
Had a big day today. Started out this morning at Broad Street, had coffee with Lynn, and had a very good time with meeting and greeting several hundred people in the course of the morning. Attended an Ole Miss luncheon, and very glad to be here with you this afternoon.
Well, thank you. Now, yeah, that's a pretty busy day. Is this a coffee, Lynn? Is this a weekly thing, or is this just a one-shot deal? Or
Just today was our
Okay.
first launch off, and we may do it again. It was so successful, and it was a great opportunity to meet folks from all over Jackson area.
Well, I mean, your race is going to be arguably, and of course, I just had Tate Reeves was in the current state treasurer. Of course, he's in a very competitive race as well. But I mean, your race is very competitive because you've got 3 strong candidates, and so I mean, what would you being treasurer, what would that be like? I mean, what makes you different than the other 2 guys?
Well, I think there are several elements. I mean, the treasurer's office is extremely important. It's a very critical job. But over the last 26 years, I have done numerous things, I think, that have postured me to be in this position as treasurer. And so, what I want to do is kind of give you my qualifications, and I'd like for the listeners to kind of interview me by this radio show and let
Okay.
you know what I've done for 26 years.
Okay, so this is your job interview.
This is my job interview. I think
Okay.
it's important. I think a lot of times you get politicians that say, when I get elected, I'm going to do this for you. And when I get elected, I'm going to do that for you. I think it's important now that the voters know now, and I garner their trust and get an interview and then let them make a very, informed decision. Once I got out of law school, I started working at the Attorney General's office. Mr. Pittman, Justice Pittman, was my boss at that time. He gave us an opportunity to be assigned to clients and agencies. So very fortunately was able to have all the financials agencies. I represented the State Bond Commission, the Treasurer's Office, the Department of Banking and Consumer Finance, Mississippi Development Authority, and Department of Finance and Administration. So it gave me an opportunity to see how the components of state government work in regards to the financings of the state. From there, I went to work at the House of Representatives, and I was counsel for the Ways and Means Committee. Again, tremendous opportunity. Then I was researching and writing the laws that affected the bonding authority, the taxes, our economic development projects. And then I went into private practice as a bond lawyer. Again, working on state general obligation bonds gave me the opportunity to see the full umbrella. At this point, I'd seen it from the public side, writing the laws, and then from the private side. And then since 2004, I've had the honor of working for Governor Barbour. In 2004, I went to work at the Mississippi Department of Employment Security as a deputy executive director. And then recently, I've been very honored again to work for Governor Barbour as the executive director of the Mississippi State Personnel Board.
Oh, very good. So you seem so young. I mean, that's quite a resume. I mean,
Thank you. Well, I think it'll certainly stay on course. They both predecessors have done an excellent job. I think in the next 60 days, I'm going to come out with some very excellent policy initiatives that will be new and a little different, and certainly benefit the taxpayers. I mean, after all, these are the taxpayers' dollars,
Right.
and you want to have somebody shepherd those dollars, watch out over them, and bring forth some new policy initiatives that will carry it to a different level.
what does a state treasurer do?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. I get that question all the time. What does the state treasurer do? Well, there are a lot of things that the state treasurer is responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
There's several programs, which are the Impact program,
Right.
also unclaimed property, certainly responsible for the bonded indebtedness, the investment. A lot of ways I kind of look at it like a checkbook analysis. The treasurer is truly responsible for the checkbook, taking in the funds, paying out the funds, making sure we have adequate funds, balancing those funds. Very important role. One of the biggest roles, though, is certainly the bonded indebtedness of the state. Currently, we have $4 billion of outstanding debt. That's monumental for our state, and it's just a continued management issue. And I think having had the opportunity to learn about bonds, been a bond lawyer, it's very important to understand those pieces and parts on our bonding indebtedness and our outstanding debt. Right now we pay about $361 million a year on our debt service. So it's like if you had a credit card, right now we owe $4 billion on our credit card for what we purchased, and we're paying about $1 million a day in our credit card payment.
A year
basically.
Or a day?
A day.
I mean, so far, what has been the most interesting experience that you've experienced on the campaign so far?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've been a lot of different places. The thing that has just really resonated with me is that the people are so gracious and kind and receptive. No matter where I've been in the state, I get such good commentary, good hospitality. And then when I get a chance to visit with them about my level of expertise and my credentials and why I am qualified for this job, it's even more so. And it's just as an affirmation to me on why I'm doing this job because, I'm not a lifelong politician. This is my first run at it, and I'm doing this because I'm truly a public servant. I really enjoy serving the people of Mississippi. Years ago, I was a page in the House of Representatives, and I think that's what's actually drawn me back into state service all these years. And so truly, it's a heartfelt move to run for the statewide office.
What challenges with that have you found? I mean, these are tough times, and of course, there's been a lot of cuts and everything. What challenges have you found with your current job?
It's been tough. I've had to make some tough choices, some very informed choices. Certainly managing an agency, you have to understand the budget process. You have to understand the legislative process. You have to be prepared. And when we get cut 4 times, how do you manage your team? How do you continue to performance manage what you have to be responsible for and still meet the needs of your job seekers, your agencies? So we've made some great moves. We've leveraged our assets. We've certainly worked with other agencies and partnerships. And one of the big issues we've taken on is we've moved in the technology world, which has been great. The personnel board has been getting hit about 100,000 times a month on the website since we have restructured it in the last 18 months. So I think our outreach has changed. Certainly the message has changed, and we've been able to manage and do more with less. So it's really learning to be efficient and effective and work on those slimmer dollars.
So what's next? I mean, what are you up to next on the campaign? Are you heading out for anything else for the rest of the week? Or?
Oh, absolutely. We're in full throttle. Every day is certainly meeting folks, visiting with them, talking about the election. The primary is August the 2nd, so it's certainly coming up pretty rapidly, and then the general election, of course, is in November. So we're very busy. Staff moving full force ahead all over the state. But again, I'm enjoying that so much, getting out and meeting the people. I think that's such an important part. And after all, this is the people's job. And I have a website, and I've got email and a Facebook, and I really welcome the feedback and the comments.
How can folks find you on the web?
Just visit lynnfitch.com.
Well, that's easy enough. We actually have a call, so let's get to Charles in Tupelo. Charles, welcome to the Marshall Ramsey Show. What's your question?
Hey, there, Marshall Ramsey. First time calling you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Taking over for Sid. You've done a great job, and I really enjoy listening to you. Ms. Finch, question for you.
Yes.
A lot of folks step into this state treasury position with their eye on the bigger prize. Is that in your future, or is this just something that you want to be as just our state treasurer?
Oh, Charles, I feel like this is an important role right now as the state treasurer, so I don't have an agenda at all. I'm doing this because I think the voters deserve to have a very qualified person in this very critical position right now. In 2012, it's going to be even tougher than it is right now. And I think it's important that you all have someone in who is ready to hit the ground running day one and can be your treasurer, and you don't have to have any on-the-job training.
Okay. So the answer to the question is, you don't have your sight on a bigger prize.
No, my sight right now is being the state treasurer and doing a great job for you all.
I'm going to tell you what, Ms. Finch, you got my vote.
Thank you.
And I'm going to tell you what did it, and I hope the folks that are out there listening will do it. You want to be a public servant.
Absolutely.
And that matters. And, the good old boy system, obviously you won't fit into that, no pun intended. But, it's time that folks in Mississippi break that up and elect citizens that want to serve the public. And I've enjoyed listening to your interview here. And it's just that simple. You got my vote, my support, and I'll spread the word up here in Tupelo.
Thank you. I truly appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, Lynn, thank you for being here today, and it's very nice to get to know you and get to meet you. And thanks for coming in on the show today. So we've been talking to Lynn Fitch, who's running for the state treasurer's job in the state of Mississippi. Thanks for being part of the show today.
Thank you, Marshall. I sure enjoyed it. Look forward to coming back.
All right. Well, we're here wrapping up. We've had a great show today. Very busy.